Hello there, Eagles fans, and welcome back to Philly Eagles Therapy. I'm Basil,
And I'm Baz.
and we are recording Sunday, September 21st, 2025, about 6, 7 hours after the Eagles take home a win against the Rams. Dad, it happened exactly how we drew it up.
I know it's
We
crazy.
both wrote it down. A field goal block would end the game. We'd return it for a touchdown. Dude, that was insane.
It was probably it goes back to some of the unbelievable games in the old days, like the Miracle of the Meadowlands. It was just,
Yeah,
we're calling it the double block, but I don't know if that's sexy
yeah,
enough. But
we got to find a name.
yeah, we do because that was unbelievable. Just
Yes.
you can't win them like that, but just the way they came back, just the way they play together, it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into the full details of it. Mentioned that the Eagles fan club at Rhino Sports and Spirits, there was 47 people there. We weren't there, but we're happy to hear that there was a good turnout for the game, and the bar must have been going crazy.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh!
gosh.
Well, the first blocked field goal, yeah,
Yeah, and then for the game winner, that's different level.
yeah.
Dad, let's talk about this game a bit. So, game starts off slow for not slow for us, kind of fast for us. We get an interception. A couple plays later, a couple big plays later, chunks. We get a couple tush pushes, and we get a touchdown. We're up 7-0, and we're thinking, oh man, we got an extra possession out of this game. Like, this is great.
Yeah, who would have guessed that after that pretty decent drive
Hmm?
to score the touchdown that they would just go ice cold.
Absolutely, which is exactly what they did. You score that 7 points you score the Jalen Hurts tush push, and the game completely changes after that moment. We didn't know at the time, but it definitely did. The Rams go down, kick a field goal. Okay, that's fine. And then our offense just dead in the water. The Rams walk out with another touchdown. End up scoring 10 in the first quarter, so down 10-3 in the first quarter, and then the second quarter is one of the worst things you've ever seen. Not really defensively, but offensively for sure.
Yeah.
We get no points in the offense. Defense, holds the Rams to 9 points, three field goals. So, they're keeping them in the game at least by making them kick field goals. But just it was brutal display in that second quarter.
It was, I mean, defensively again, we were getting gashed on the run, and you and I were like, we have no answers for the running game.
At all.
With a pass game, I mean, it just drives me crazy when it just dink and dunk. Nobody covering the out guys, and they would just keep getting first downs. But really, it was the run game in that first half. They just were running all over us. We could not stop them. Any of the backs, they could have thrown anybody out there. We couldn't stop anybody. But
Yeah.
that's just the way it looked. It was ugly. It was
Yep.
very ugly.
So you go into the half down 19-7. It's a two-score game, and you're not feeling too good because the offense has given you basically nothing to be excited for. Pass offense isn't working. AJ still no catches in the first half. I
Right.
don't even know if targets. Saquon can't really do much of anything at that point. Jalen's not. He's just getting sacked because they got Matt Pryor in at right tackle, which
Yeah.
we'll talk a little bit about in a bit. But
That was tough.
it was just it felt like, oh my god, this is brutal. Like what are we gonna do? And then the beginning of the third quarter, just like the first half, we start in our own 10 or 11 because of the kickoff returns, which we'll get into more
Right.
of that
I
too.
agree.
My gosh, there was so much bad. It's hilarious that we
Yeah.
walk out of this with a win. But third quarter begins and sack fumble. Hurts doesn't even see it coming
Man.
and leads to a touchdown the next
Yeah,
play.
it's a bad hit. My sister had a feeling that he might have hit his head because he went down pretty hard, and she had texted me something about him, and I just kind of went, "Well, I saw the hit, but I didn't see him hit his head." So they showed it again, and luckily he landed okay. He didn't come down too bad. Yeah, that was awful, and that was after we had already made the switch to right tackle. So there was
No.
there
That
was
was still
just
Matt Pryor. Yeah, after that play, Matt Pryor didn't play again. He was still out there. That was
second
him.
half then, huh?
He was into the second
Oh
half.
my
Yeah, it was
gosh.
after that play that they changed
Okay,
Brett Johnson.
which rightfully they should have.
Was weird to think that why was he not out there to replace Lane in the first place?
Yeah, and it's funny because Barkley was helping him so much that he didn't see the other guy come in that made the sack.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise he would have been playing that way.
That
but
was earlier.
he was given
That
a
was a
hand.
different one.
Yeah, but he was still
No, the sack in the second half was not the Barkley. That was just he got around Pryor. It wasn't even the blitzer. That was earlier.
okay. Okay,
This was just out of nowhere. Guy got around Matt Pryor, smoked Jalen.
yeah, he
Fumbles it, they recover it, leads to a touchdown the next play, and you're thinking, okay, now it's over. 19-point game. That's a three-score game.
So the only thing that I think came up at that point is I said to you, now we just get the pass.
Yeah,
If we can't, like, we're down this many points, it's looking bleak. Just start throwing the ball. Just start throwing the ball.
completely opens up the playbook.
It
Nothing is
did.
off limits.
That's right.
You're down by 19, which ends up surprisingly winning them the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're looking like, okay, we haven't been able to throw. Let's start throwing every down, no running, just throw it every play. And then, of course, they had some success pretty quickly. So
Yeah,
we didn't expect that to happen, but then they kind of righted the ship.
absolutely.
That's what
Yeah.
happened.
So at our, like you said, at our lowest point, the fumble happens, the touchdown for the Rams, and you're down 19. You're thinking, okay, now it's kind of all she wrote, and that's when we were at our best after that point. I believe we just go on it was a 3 play or a 5 play
That was
drive.
an amazing play. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
Jalen goes deep to AJ. Then he hits Goddard across the middle for a 33-yard touchdown. And it's like, oh, okay, like that's
That was
good.
easy.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, why couldn't you do that earlier?
Yes.
But
Yes.
it might be too little, too late. It feels like, dude, it's
Right.
too late in the game. You guys got to, this is going to be tough. But then the defense holds up its end of the bargain. The
Yes.
defense, aside from that touchdown that they scored because of the fumble,
The 10-yard field. Yeah.
did not allow any score in the second half except that play.
It seems to be the theme of the season. I mean, every game so far, that second half, fourth quarter defense has been phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And even though we're still seeing some leaking here and there, it was amazing. I mean, and really it helped what they did, to come back from that many points. You gotta, not let them get any first downs. And then they did it. It was pretty impressive.
So after that, they have a 4 play drive, get a sack on technically a sack on Stafford, which by Jordan Davis, who we'll talk about again, but he's player of the game, really.
Oh, yeah.
He has a sack running Stafford out of bounds, very much like the Josh Allen one.
Right.
The sack against Josh Allen 2 years ago in the Buffalo Bills game. And you're like, man, this guy's playing out of his mind. Best game he's played of his career.
Oh, yeah.
Which you've said for really the second time this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he topped himself, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I just have to mention we both agree. Jordan Davis, phenomenal game for this guy.
He was, and then the conditioning, it's just showing up every week. It's unbelievable, actually. It's really, really awesome. So
the weight loss that they talked about in the offseason seems to have really affected his play.
It's time to sign him.
That's right. So after before we get that sack, we get the ball back, we go back down, we score another touchdown. This one was to AJ, the one in the end zone.
Right.
I know some people were calling for a little bit of a pass interference there, an offensive pass interference. But I got to say, when they look for a pass interference, they're looking for a full extension. They're looking for the full push,
right?
Which I thought earlier in the game, the Devontae Adams, I didn't really think that was enough to call.
No.
And I didn't think this one either. AJ has mastered he did it last year a few times.
Yeah.
The short arm push.
Yeah.
He doesn't shove to get open.
Yeah.
He does a little,
the alligator arms.
Exactly. He does that and he gets a touchdown, which you right away you're like, oh my God, 26-21, we're back in the game.
Yes. And then again, they were still moving the ball, the Rams, but we just were able to continue to. You could see it starting to change though, as far as some of their stuff. They were still getting the passes off. The running game wasn't cashing us as much. I'd like to see how many yards rushing they had in the first half versus the second half. I don't know if you can find that up there.
Yeah, I don't know if we still don't have the.
That was something, because their Williams had like 90 some yards, or in the first half he was like 50, 60 yards. It was actually 60 at one point. I think he had 49. I'm sorry, but so 50. But yeah, I knew he was running. He was running all over us, but we couldn't do anything.
He ends with 20 for 94, which he's unfortunately.
But the first half is where he got a chunk of that.
Yes. Then the game goes into complete just disarray. We get a turnover on downs against the Rams. They get a turnover on downs against us.
Yeah, I thought we should have punted there.
I thought we should have too.
Yeah.
And then the next 3 drives are unbelievable. You get the blocked field goal, which let me go back a play. The 4th down attempt that they had against us was stopped by Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter in the backfield.
Beauty. That was beauty.
And it's funny because that play itself would be a highlight reel, and you'd be like, oh, that's the biggest play of the game on any other game.
Little did we know
the next 2 drives for the Rams would lead to blocked field goal by both of those guys.
Yes.
So obviously we blocked the first field goal, sets us up with a long field, and we don't mess around with it. We go on a 17-play, 91-yard drive, takes off 5.5 minutes.
It was,
and we terrifyingly score a touchdown on 4th and goal, which was unbelievably clutch.
Yeah, that one, boy, I'll tell you what, we're pretty much diehards here, but we pulled every lucky charm out that you could on that particular. I don't know, 4th and goal from there. Yeah, it was kind of tough. And then again, it's funny because we're even after we scored, we're like, well, we left too much time on the clock,
Yeah,
and that
minute
was where
48.
we kind of got a little bit upset.
Especially with not getting the 2 point conversion, which I thought was not a great play call.
Yeah, we're still,
Maybe not a great play call, but it was
yeah,
it was just a rough read. I thought Goddard was kind of open at that point, but
yeah,
it didn't work out too well. I mean, it ended up working out great, but
yes,
um,
I agree. But
so we don't get the 2 point conversion. We kick off to the Rams. They get a good return out of it. And you're like, okay, here it goes. Like minute 30, minute 40 left. I think minute.
yeah,
I don't remember exactly where they got it.
one timeout, or
Yeah,
were they out?
that's no. They still had, I believe, one timeout at that
Okay,
point. Yeah, they
okay,
did have one. They had a burn through two of them earlier, which we mentioned when they called their second timeout earlier in the half, earlier in the quarter.
right,
We were like, man, that's big. They only have one
yeah,
timeout the rest of the game,
yeah,
and it kind of ended up being a big deal.
yeah,
So they drive down pretty, unfortunately, easily. Not no big plays, but just chunking down the
yeah,
field, and they get into field goal range, and you're like, okay, with today's kickers,
yes,
it's just easy,
yes,
and come on, we already blocked the field goal,
yeah.
but
You're not going to block another one. That's
right.
just not going to happen.
So line up for the field goal, we get a little ice in the kicker by Nick, good job, and then it's funny because they line up for the field goal, and the camera zooms in. It shows Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Obviously, Jalen Carter, he had the first block. It hit his arm, bounced over to Davis's arm.
Right.
So you're like, okay, But it's funny they zoom in on those two guys, and you and I said it. I'm like, man, like, gonna block it, man. We're gonna block it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like, not really believing it, but
Right.
saying it.
Right.
And little did we know, Davis breaks right through, breaks through that left guard that they
Man.
have there, and two hand blocks that thing. And what's he do? He
Yeah.
scoops it. He scores it. How long of a return was it? I didn't even write that down.
61 yards,
Let's see,
I believe.
Jordan Davis, 61 yards.
61 yards.
61 yard target.
Yeah.
61 yards.
And it's funny because at that point, just following the ball, but great block by
Dude,
Jaquarian Bennett, right?
Corian Bennett
Took the punter out,
took the guy, the
I'm sorry,
holder, or
kicker,
the kicker, or whatever.
and it was right there, Jordan. And it's so funny. We were too excited to. We look up and he's running. We thought the game was over. Like, and we're like, oh, look, he's running, go, And of course, looking for flags again. That's always something you do. And
Unbelievable.
sure enough, it was pretty amazing. He ran it. What did he run? 18.59 miles per hour. He was rushing.
MPH.
Superman. He was flying, but
unbelievable.
And it was nice to now you're not it's not a 1 point win, it's a 7 point win.
It feels better.
It feels better.
It does.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a crushing loss for them guys on the other side. The Rams did everything they could, just like in the playoff game last year. And you're gonna read about it online. Oh, this, that, and the other thing. Who won the game?
Yeah.
Who's 10-1 in their last 11 against the Rams?
Yeah,
we are. That's right.
It's incredible, man. I mean,
it is.
What an incredible end to a game. What an incredible game back and forth.
Yes.
As an Eagles fan, we've got some stuff that we'll touch on here: the good, the bad, and the ugly. But man, incredible game and incredible win. Even though it was tough every once in a while, or most of the game.
It was amazing. Yeah, no, it was. It's funny, like you say, when we hear these guys talk about these games and say it's going to be fun, it's not fun. It's not fun for you and I.
No.
But we were a little more controlled, I think, this game. We didn't get
so.
too out of hand, even though we were down. We kind of went, okay, this is what's going to happen. It was going to be a tough game. We knew it was going to be tough. I don't know where you want to go as far as next, but
let's start with the offense first.
Go ahead.
I wrote down some names and some thoughts. Number one, AJ Brown. I mean, this is why you throw him the ball.
Yeah.
3 plays in this game that he made where he shouldn't have made any more out of it, and he did.
I agree.
And that's why you throw him the ball. 2 of them on third down for sure. One of them was the deep 2nd and 13. He one hand catches that, first of all.
Yes.
The other 2, he's got a guy draped on his back, and he gets away from him both times. This is why you throw him the ball. And I mean, we talk about it.
And in traffic too.
Yes. And we talk about it because what annoys me as a fan, and I'm sure a lot of people watching, the cowards draw. And we call that when it's 3rd and 15, and instead of attempting to go for it, they just run the ball, get 4 yards, and then punt it. And those plays make me say, this is why you throw the ball to AJ. Right. Because even if you throw it to the ball to him 12 yards down the field on 3rd and 18, he'll get the other 9. Right. He can do that. Yeah, that's who he is.
He did it today, and it's so funny. I think it was the 3rd one that he got when he was past the first down marker, caught it and came back. And I'm like, stop, go down. And then he goes another 10 yards. And I went, okay, that's enough. I'll just keep my mouth quiet. I won't say nothing. But
6 catches, 109 yards, 1 touchdown. Great day for him.
Hey, week 3, and he's got his 100-yarder already,
There you
right?
go.
So it finally the broke through, and I think it really just you could just see the confidence level, not just in him, but in AJ and Devontae, and even in Goddard with the
Yeah,
big catch. I was kind of hoping he would get a couple more because we
yeah.
kind of need him, but
Well, let me mention those two next. So Devontae Smith, 8 catches for 60 yards and the game winning touchdown, and Dallas Goddard 1 catch for 33 yards and a touchdown. So the Saquon doesn't get a touchdown unfortunately on the ground, but he has won the last 2 games, each of the last 2 games. But just a huge for Devontae, AJ, Goddard to all get a touchdown, to get catches, to get targets,
right.
and especially I'll have Jalen on here too. Jalen, who had a horrible first half and an incredible second half.
Yes. Oh, yes. Through over 200 in the second half.
It walks away with 226. I'm pretty sure he has 0 in the first half.
Well, there was a -1 number up there at the when
Yeah,
they give you the halftime statistics.
it's
So,
terrible.
but yeah, so -1 to 226. I think the passing game is back. Maybe it was the play calling at the time, but they definitely found it. I mean, even Dotson caught one early, but I'd like to see like a little bit more balance. 2 or 3 to this guy, 2 or 3 to that
I
guy.
like that Mechie got a target,
That was
one
good
for eight,
too.
and Dotson 1 for 7,
Yes,
like you said.
yes.
It's a big deal.
I agree.
It's
I
really good.
mean, that's a balanced offense. Now, there were a couple out passes to Barkley that I thought, and that was early in the game. Again,
4 catches for 9
we were
yards.
trying. They're trying to get him going, right? It's funny because we expected him to run for 200 yards, but it
Yeah.
just doesn't work out that
Well,
way, guys. So
and this is the important part. I think we as fans have to remember. We went into this season knowing 2,000 yards. It's not going to come as easy.
yeah,
These 200-yard games, the 150-yard games.
right,
Teams are going to go, no, you're not running on us,
right.
and that's what opens up the pass. And they finally kind of figured that out in the second half.
And I think that and he still ended up with pretty low numbers,
18 for 46 with
46.
2.6 yards per carry. I like seeing that they still gave him 18 carries. I like that they were still trying for him and
Right.
everything like that. So I'm happy that they were attempting, even though they weren't able to.
And Hurts finished with 40. I couldn't when I saw that I was surprised. I'm like, 40. He had 40 yards when I know he had the 110-yarder off left side, and he had another one earlier in the game. But I was surprised. I know he did have that one down the sideline where he cut back in behind the tight end Latu.
Yeah, lots of
Great blocker.
great.
I mean, the guys paying the bills for us right now. So
Sure.
that's another big thing. But again, early on in the season, I think this kind of is one of those turning points. Defense again, I don't think has been bad, but by the way,
let's talk about the defense. So total Rams yards. Let me pull that up real quick.
386.
I didn't think they were that great. Let me see it. Sorry, you said 386. Man, how do you have it memorized?
I don't know.
Total Rams yards.
It's
Why don't I have it? Oh, there we go. 356. So
356.
that's pretty bad numbers, but only let up. It's hard to say. Only let up 26 points. 7 of those you got to kind of blame the offense
giveaway,
for
right,
the sack, letting up really the big play, the big touchdown to Devontae Adams early on.
That was a great pass too.
Yes. Other than that, I mean, field goals, holding him to field goals, which 2 of those turned into blocked field goals.
Yes.
I mean, that just huge deal by the defense. So I thought overall, the yards don't look very good, but they held their own. I mean,
it's funny because what you expect is the opposite, right? We know Stafford can't move out of the pocket, but we never really sacked him.
Yeah.
We got him. We made it. We didn't really move him off his marker as much as I thought we were going to. We were a few seconds, 1 or 2 plays. They hit his arm on the one play. Remember when Nakua made that great catch?
Yeah.
But there was definitely times that they could have gotten him, but they just even with an immobile quarterback, but I think they're figuring it out. It's you got to shut that run down. They did in the second half. So
yeah.
Again, I wish we had the first and second half
stats,
but that's kind of hard to get.
Later in the week, we'll come back to record again.
Right.
But let's touch on some players in the defense that I wrote down. So number one, player of the game, which we got the highlights showing over here, and we're about to see the block by Jordan Davis. So
44-yard field goal, 3 seconds left.
Yeah, player of the game, Jordan Davis, getting a block. And not just that, he had the sack early on. He had 5 solo tackles. I thought he played his best game as a professional. Like I said, the second time you said that this year in Dallas, or in Philly against Dallas,
right?
I thought he played his best game, and here he is playing his next best game.
It's amazing because as much as Carter's one of our guys. He's still kind of working his way into that uh, playing for the season. So, but some of the other guys that shined as well. It's really been exciting. Obviously, the defensive ends have not really been there for the big sacks or anything, but they're definitely making plays on the ball. So it's been exciting. And my player to watch this week was Davis, even though you said just pick one, not four. But I was talking interior defensive line. But Davis was the guy, and he definitely delivered, and he was just incredible. I mean, just to pick up that ball and run it in. It's funny because he could have fell on it. Game would have ended 27-26, but
zone.
take it when you get a
Yeah,
chance.
and I like that the announcer said that. I don't.
Yeah.
We had Greg Olson. I don't know who the other guy is. I never remember. And he said, "Oh yeah, I like that he didn't. I like that he didn't lay down
Yeah.
or he didn't lay down on it. No, go get in the end zone.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Get in the end zone."
Reminds me of the last time or a couple times when the BG had that touchdown at the very end of the Rams game back in the 17 season.
That's right. That's what I was thinking.
So I mean, take it in. Why just go get the score, get yourself a stat,
Next name I have is Jalen Carter. So obviously Carter blocked that first field goal, or the first field goal that they kicked in the fourth quarter. And the crazy thing is not just blocking two field goals in a game,
Right.
not just blocking two field goals in a fourth quarter, not just blocking, or I was going to say two field goals in the fourth quarter, in a quarter and the fourth quarter, but blocking two field goals on back-to-back drives.
That's incredible.
So we block their field goal, we go score a touchdown, we block a field goal again. I mean, back-to-back drives.
That doesn't happen.
Insane.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
That's insane. And for Carter and Davis, it's funny because I posted on the Facebook page early on. These guys are running all over us, the Rams, and I'm like, where are all these first round picks from Georgia? Like, where are all these first round pick guys we have on the defensive line? What's going on here? Well, they showed up.
Yeah, they showed up.
They silenced me real quick.
Yeah,
and they put the game away. I mean, they put the game on ice.
It's great. It was really wonderful. Now, hopefully they're starting to get their legs underneath them now. Next week they're going to be playing in some hot and humid stuff. So today was good. The temps weren't too high. It was nice to see them. They played a lot of snaps. I believe Carter was in on 50 snaps, and what did they say? 60 for Carter and 45 for Davis.
Yeah.
So Davis, last year he had trouble getting into 20, 25 plays, and this year he's already exceeded that. He hit 45 plays
Probably every game. We'll have to find out. Yeah. I'm sure you see that every game.
Yeah, and I think Ojomo was in on 33 snaps. So hopefully, with these two guys doing what they're doing, it should open things up for some of these other players as well. So, yeah.
Want to mention Zach Vaughn as well. He had the pick.
Great.
Not just that, he's always playing great. And we kind of mentioned last year the big thing about him making a play every single game.
Yes.
And this year, he had he had a tackle that saved the touchdown against the Cowboys. Didn't force the fumble, but they fumble a few plays later because they don't score the touchdown. And then today he gets the interception that leads to our first and only score of the first half.
Yeah, that was a tough first half. Mama said there'd be days like these, and there was definitely that today. So we kind of struggled there, but that's the thing about football. It's always a tale of two halves. If you're able to get it together, like seems like Vic always seems to do, and
definitely
now the offense looking a lot better. Now we'll see what happens.
Definitely
hope it continues.
Oh, get in there. Sorry, we're watching the Sunday night game, the Giants and the Chiefs. And I know we should be cheering against the Giants, but I'd kind of rather them win than the
Scattaboo.
I would rather them win than the Chiefs.
Look at him doing backflips.
Scattaboo's doing backflips.
Oh my God!
Wow, we watched Scattaboo a lot when he was at ASU.
Yeah,
good for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
Dad, I wanted to mention. Obviously, we said the pass rush. I don't know if it was awful, but it just never got home. And then the run defense was, I thought, really bad.
But, horrible in the first half. And I don't understand it. Like, we couldn't understand why. We're looking at everybody's in the right positioning. There's players, they're making shifts. They're not just staying in the same spot, but they just could not stop the running backs. And it wasn't just one, it was a couple of them.
Yeah, they end up walking away with 160 rushing yards. We only get 86. That was tough. Did they just block an extra point?
I think they did.
So another kick was blocked, which we have to mention. Obviously, we blocked two field goals. The Jets blocked the Bucs field goal about 5 minutes after ours, and now the Chiefs just blocked the Giants extra point. So unbelievable.
Wow.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're not Giants live streamers. Let's move on. Let's talk about the defense. So obviously the two blocked field goals, it's funny because we mentioned that in the defense with Davis and Carter, but those were on special teams.
Yes.
So you got to throw those in the special teams thing. But the big news about the special team, we didn't kick any field goals. Is that correct?
We missed a 2-pointer. So you're right.
Jake Elliott made 3 extra points.
Yes.
We did not attempt a field goal.
That's right.
So nothing to mention there.
Yeah.
We didn't get the 2-point conversion, of course.
Right.
But
then at the end of the game, we didn't kick an extra point because the game was over.
Correct.
which is always weird.
But
But
we
they used to
do.
make you make a kick that,
Yeah,
in the old
I
days.
know. It's done to me.
Yeah,
I'm happy to get rid of it.
yeah.
But the thing that we do have to mention, the kick returning. I don't know what the special teams coach is going to talk about this week, but we had 5 total kick returns. They fumbled. I don't know if
Everyone.
I don't know if they go down as fumbles, like they don't get recorded, like it doesn't show they fumbled,
Well, they're like
but
muffs.
they
Yeah,
muffed every single one of
yeah.
them in total with 5 kick returns. What's 31 plus 24? 55.
55.
So 55 yards on 5 kick returns. So an average of 10.5 per
Yeah,
return. Is that
yeah.
correct?
Well, 55 times five, that'd be 11.
11. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But
Yeah,
just
11.
the fact
So
that they, after they did the first one and the second one and the third one, and then at one time, the second half, I'm like, okay, now we're going to, and they do it again.
someone has to figure this out.
And
They
then
do
they
it
did
again.
it again. I mean, I don't know if it was Tank on a couple of them. I don't know if that was Michi back
I
there.
mean, so Mechie had 3 returns, Tank had 2.
Or they fumbled every single one.
Mechie was 3 for 31, so an average of 10.3, and Bigsby was 2 for 24, an average of 12.
Because one of them was right in his hands and they dropped it. I'm like, okay, and the fumble, like they were squibbing them, right? Which is the new way of doing
Yes,
kickoffs.
it's smart.
But unbelievable. Like you got to be able to pick it up. And our starting positions were like at the 19, the 20. We had one at like the 11 or the 13. Terrible. You can't have that. You got to get it to the 20, 25 yard line.
I'm trying to look up real quick our average starting
Starting position.
position.
Yeah, that would be the way to go.
I just don't. I don't. It might not even be released or out or anything like that yet. Yeah, today. So their starting field position was the 15.5
That,
yard line.
you can't.
Maybe that.
That's 10 or 15 yards less starting than you normally would have. The
That only
25.
that says after 4 kickoffs. So that's not including the fifth one they did. But
Okay.
still, I don't care. It's just terrible. I mean, that is so bad.
It was
And I don't know
awful.
what Michael Clay is going to have to do to talk to his guys this week. I don't know how you fix this, but it's unacceptable. That you cannot have this happening.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
You know,
it was the game. It was the tail of the first half.
Yeah, we kept hearing that. We had this kick returner in for the preseason. He never made it. He didn't even make the team. And then we just brought Tank in, who was
traded it for him.
kind of a running back, and now and then Michi, he wasn't even on the team. It's just you got to do something, man. I know Shipley was kind of going to be our guy, but yeah, it's getting ridiculous. It's
absurd.
It was bad. You can't do that next week. You just can't do that.
I had a note on here to put down the refs just because I know you wanted to mention the taunting penalties. Now I saw some things online, and let me tell you, Eagles fans, I there's nothing I couldn't imagine being a fan of a team. Well, like if 10 years ago you told me that people were calling us on Facebook or Twitter, were calling us the new Chiefs because we were getting refs calls, I would never believe it.
Yeah.
And I would probably cry of joy to be like, oh my God, my team is so good that fans think the refs are cheating for us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I felt about the Chiefs for 10 years. That's how I felt about the Patriots for 20 years.
Right.
I'd be overjoyed thinking one day I'm going to have that. Like, oh my God. But yeah, I saw someone say that because of the Puka Nakua taunting penalty that they called, which was completely and utter stupid. That's a backwards
pass. That
is
a backwards pass. Pick it up.
Sorry, guys.
No, come on.
We're yelling at our
goodness.
Fans. Unbelievable. Oh my gosh.
Kidding me.
So the taunting penalty, which I thought was terrible. Obviously,
terrible.
People are saying, oh, the Eagles, they got that. Well, we got that called on us for Nolan Smith 2 weeks ago. We got that called on us last week by who was it last week they called that on?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
That was a bad one too.
Yeah, it was dumb. But yeah, I disagree with the penalty. That he's not doing anything in his face. It just happened to be the guy's there. It's not, I don't think it was taunting. So that just got to change.
But then talking about the refs, they called one pass interference on us that was so ticky tack. I just hate that one. And one of them, the guy ran right into our guy, and he didn't grab his shirt. Like if you grab a shirt and you could see the shirt being pulled, or hook a guy. I just some of the, but the one on Paku, Hoop in the, it was terrible. Yeah, I mean, he spun the ball. All that. He didn't kick nobody. He didn't point at anybody. He just stood there.
And then at the end zone, he's going like this.
And then the Carter one, he's 18 feet away from everybody.
That's the other one. Jalen Carter,
6 yards over.
He's 20 yards away.
It's not. He's got it. Just, you can't do it, but
someone's got to talk to Jalen Carter.
Yeah, I agree.
And not me.
It's not going to be me.
It's got to be someone his size. So I'm talking about Jordan Davis. Go talk to Jalen Carter.
That's tough.
I have under the nest. I have one under the nest, which is going to be the Reed Blankenship on 3rd and 2 before the first blocked field goal. They tried for Devontae Adams in the back corner of the end zone. Reed got his arm in there, knocked it out.
Right.
It could have been called for pass interference if they had the old rules, the face guarding thing.
Right.
But I was happy. I think it was a good no call.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's just defense, and he gets his hand in there and stops it before it gets to him. So I thought that was the under the nest play because it's forgotten
Yeah.
because of how great the block field goal
Yeah.
was.
I mean, again, getting back to the calls, as long as they're calling crappy calls on both sides, I guess that's okay. But this taunting business is just terrible. I mean, I think there was another game we were watching, and the guy kind of just got up and did one of these things, and they called it. And I just went, all right, now it's gotten to a point. And I understand the refs are probably told, let's call this tighter, let's call this tighter, but
Yeah.
just it's
I
terrible.
agree. If you spit on someone, sure, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Play of the game, it just got the blocked field goal. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. There's nothing to compare. I mean, you could say the 4th down touchdown. That's the game winner.
Right.
If you don't get that, we don't win the game because we're all out of, we had passed a 2-minute warning. We only had, I think, one timeout at that point.
Yeah.
So that would have been game. But the blocked field goal's got to be the play of the game.
So we're at week 3, and I think we finally got some stuff going here.
Yeah. Well, I have that as the bottom line.
Yeah.
Bottom line, we're 3-0.
And the other thing about it, and I was telling you this too, is now I can sit down and rewatch that game tonight, and I'll have a little more information on you maybe on Tuesday when we record again. But I think it's just, the other 2 games I couldn't rewatch, and this game at least I can watch. Even though the first half was awful, the second half was beautiful. So it's going to be nice to sit down and go through that and enjoy some of those plays.
I'll tell you what, man. The Jalen Hurts narrative of the guy's just a winner. People that's always the thing. He's a winner. That has just been propelled probably even more this week.
I agree.
Because for you to win like the way you did, where bad first half, great second half, and then a blocked field goal. I mean, this just turns into this team just knows how to win.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Definitely.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And the thing is, really, we played 3 games that we really weren't that good. In the first game, we did well in the first half as far as scoring goes. Moving the ball was great. The one great thing about today, that third quarter drive, 17-play drive, it was like last year. We just said, let's take the ball with 8.5 minutes left after we block a field goal and just run this clock out. Almost did it. Didn't quite have enough firepower, but we almost did it. So
that was great, though.
Would have been nice to give them the ball back with about 22 seconds left and no timeouts, but definitely it didn't happen. But it's more fun to block a field goal and take it in for a touchdown.
That's for sure.
I'm going to be happy with that.
That was
amazing.
Absurd.
Definitely.
You got anything else on the game? We were touching some other games throughout the day.
No, I'm good.
No, all righty.
That was great.
Let's real quick talk about just number one, the Buccaneers Jets. So unfortunately, the Bucs end up winning the way the Rams were looking to win, with a game-winning field goal after they get one blocked by the Jets. They return it for a touchdown just like we did.
Right.
But the Bucs drive down. They do get a game-winning field goal out of it. Unfortunately, we're really hoping, we win the game the way we do. You got that momentum, that upswing, that the rise of adrenaline. Whereas for the Bucs, if you lose that way, it's the head down, the head drops, the back sags. That's what you want. And unfortunately, they do walk out with a win.
Well, I mean, that's the whole clock management thing you talk about all the time. We didn't run the clock down as much as we should have, but then today the Jets scored too quickly.
Well, that's another thing to say. And maybe it won't last much longer because the brotherly shove, tush push, might get taken away this offseason, which we've talked about in the past. We're not big fans of it because all the penalties that can arise out of it and all the all that sort of stuff. We are very spoiled as Eagles fans. I mean, to me, I'm just kind of like, oh, why didn't you go down on the one? Because to me, it's like, guys, why did you go down the one? We could score from the one.
Yeah.
That's what the Jets, they blocked that field goal. They're running it. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Like, go down at the one. Like, but that's because, the Jets, they might not be able to tush push it. I don't know.
It's just the way teams can move the ball now in that last minute.
It's too much time.
With the time, no timeouts even.
I would say that the reason, we talked about the kickoff and how we think it should go back to the 20-yard line, because if there's 30 seconds on the clock, I to myself am going, oh, there's too much time.
Yeah.
And maybe people like that, but I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's bad. It's rough.
So the Bucs end up winning. Unfortunately, the Commanders end up destroying the Raiders, which was a huge surprise considering they didn't have Jalen Daniels.
Right.
But Marcus Mariota, 15 to 21, 207 yards, and a passing touchdown. But I think the big thing for them, they had some big returns. They had a punt return for a touchdown.
Right. Big
They had
kick
a couple
return.
big kick returns.
Yeah.
Here we go, touchdown. Da, 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 da. Did they have a pick six or something like that? No, no pick six.
I'm not
They
sure.
must have just been getting short field because
Yeah, they were.
not a ton of yards, but they 41 points. I mean,
Yeah.
they were killing them.
Yeah, that was rough.
Geno Smith threw 3 touchdowns. Is that true? 24 points for them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then the next one of note, Carson Wentz.
Man.
Halfway through the games, you're thinking, can we trade Hurts for Wentz? I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm joking.
But you're thinking, whoa, like Wentz is going insane. Now
Yeah.
he wasn't the whole thing. They were getting some pick. They got a couple. They got a pick six. They had a
Yeah.
fumble recovery for a touchdown from our good old friend Isaiah
Yeah.
Rodgers. But
Yes.
Carson Wentz, 14 of 20, 173 yards, 2 passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Didn't turn the ball over, unlike this knucklehead Russell Wilson.
Yep.
But yeah, no, pretty great game for the Vikings there to win 48-10.
Man, they just blew them out.
Insane.
Of course, the Bears, pretty nice.
Yeah. Big one to know. We didn't talk about this in the pregame, but Packers.
That's right. That's
Packers
right.
walking away with a loss in Cleveland, lose 13-10 on a game-winning 55-yard field goal. The Super Bowl champion Packers,
right.
who were anointed the champion after the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yes, they were.
It seemed like. So good loss for them.
We'll see how they talk about them this week now. But yeah.
Hopefully they get a big passionate bounce back because they're going to be playing Dallas next week, I believe.
That's true.
In Dallas on the Sunday night game. That'll be
go.
the Micah return, everything like that.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
hopefully that's a good one to watch.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Packers. It's good for the Packers to lose now so they can win next week.
That's the only time we're Packer fans, right?
That's true.
When they play the Cowboys.
And then the big one we got to talk about. Bears beating the Cowboys, upsetting the Cowboys in Chicago, winning 31-14.
Man.
Great for the division standings for them to be 1-2,
Oh,
us
yeah.
to be 3-0. At one point you're looking at us close to losing, and you're like, okay, well, hopefully the Cowboys can lose later.
Right.
And now we're we're up in the standings still, but you're thinking there's no way they're going to win.
Right.
There's no way that the Cowboys would win, and then complete opposite. We end up winning, and they end up getting trounced, which was just phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's funny because it wasn't like there was anything bad. They just got beat really bad.
They just got beat. It's fantastic. All right, Dad, you got anything else to say before we say goodbye?
No, it was a good Sunday, and it made it even better with that. So,
righty. Well, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok if you like Philly Eagles Therapy. Do us a favor, rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. The subscribe button should be right in the middle of the screen. And we have our last recap from the Cowboys, from the Eagles Chiefs game. If you wanted to catch up on that as well, right above our heads. But other than that, from all of us here at Philly Eagles Therapy, I'm Basil.
And I'm Baz.
Go Birds.
Fly, Eagles, fly.